quadratic equations for class 10. To begin with, any equation of the form ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0 is said to be a quadratic equation, where a, b and c are real numbers. That is, a, b and c are real numbers. Real numbers meaning the negative, positive, fractions, 0 included. Note that only a, that is the coefficient of x square here, need not be equal to 0. Because if it is equal to 0, then this quadratic equation will reduce to a linear equation. The next thing that we are going to learn is a solution. Now consider a quadratic equation, say x square minus x minus 6 equal to 0. To check if x equal to 3 and x equal to minus 1 is a solution of this equation. Solution of a given equation meaning the value of x which satisfies the given quadratic equation. Now note that, let us consider the first case when x is equal to 3. This is the left hand side and 0 is the only term in the right hand side. So substituting in the left hand side, I have x square minus x minus 6. So substituting x equal to 3, I get 3 square is 9 minus 3 minus 6, which is 9 minus 9 equal to 0. So we see that this value of x satisfies the given quadratic equation, which implies that x equal to 3 is a solution of the quadratic equation. This solution is also called as a root of an equation. Anything that satisfies the given quadratic equation. Let us check for the next value. When x is equal to minus 1. So let us take the LHS again. I have x square minus x minus 6. So substituting the value of minus 1 in it, I have 1 plus 1 minus 6, which is equal to negative 4. We see that this is not equal to the RHS, so this is not an equation. Therefore, r equal to x equal to negative 1 is not a solution or a root of an equation. Now note that a quadratic equation has the highest power as 2, which means there are always two values which will satisfy the given quadratic equation. Now, whatever solutions you get, you put them in a solution set, which is denoted by solution set. Note that a set is always written in by the curly brackets, and this is the set which contains all the solutions of the quadratic equation. Since we are dealing with quadratic equation, that means there will be only two roots or two solutions, that is the two values of x which satisfy the equation. Note that please do not use short forms for solution set as SS or say solution set. Please use the entire one, solution set. So in this case, since we have checked that x equal to 3 is a solution, we will put it in that. Okay. Now, to solve a quadratic equation, there are two methods. One is factorization and the other one is a quadratic formula. In today's video, we will be learning to solve a quadratic equation by the method of factorization. The method of factorization, you first get the given equation in the standard form. That is the square term, the value of x and constants on all one side. And here you see that the constant is on the other side. So the fourth problem from exercise 5a, we will get the constant on one side. So you have x square plus 2x minus 24 equal to 0. Now the method of factorization is nothing but the method of factorizing a given algebraic expression by the method of splitting the middle term, which you have learned in class 9. How do we do that? When you have the coefficient of x as a 1, we find the factors of 24 such that this sign over here explains that whether the factors have to be subtracted or added. So in this case, you find the factors of 24 such that when you subtract those factors, you get 2. Here we see that they are 6 and 4. If it is difficult to calculate the factors or to find the factors of 24, you would do prime factorization method. Usually you do it for greater numbers or any number that you cannot find the factors. So that is given by 2 ones are 2 and 2 twos are 4, using only the prime factors 6, 2, 3 and 3, 1. So then you check, so from here 3 into 2 is 6 and 2 twos are 4. Now if there is a negative sign here, this sign, that is a positive 1 or the negative 1, will go to the greater factor, and the opposite sign goes to the smaller number. So here the greater factor is plus 6 and the smaller factor is negative 4. So substituting that, you have x square plus 6x minus 4x minus 24 equal to 0. Grouping them such that we group them into two terms, and then we take out a common factor. So here you have x into x plus 6. From these two things we see that negative 4 is common to give you x plus 6 equal to 0. Therefore you have x plus 6 and x minus 4 equal to 0. Now this is the place wherein we will be using the zero product rule. The zero product rule explains that if you have, say, x, y equal to 0, then either x is equal to 0 or y is equal to 0. So here we see that there are two linear factors. So to find the value of x, we will substitute either x plus 6 is equal to 0 or x minus 4 is equal to 0. That is using the zero product rule. And therefore x is equal to negative 6 or x is equal to positive 4. And the final step to solve the quadratic equation is to write the solution set. Therefore, the solution set is equal to negative 6, 4. Let us take another example from problem number 6. You have x square minus 11x is equal to 42. The first thing is you write it in the standard quadratic equation form. So you have x square minus 11x minus 42 is equal to 0. Now note that between this quadratic equation and this quadratic equation, in both the cases you have to subtract the factors. So you find the factors of 42 either by prime factorization or if you know directly. So the factors for this are 14 and 3. Okay. So substituting it. Now here, since there is a negative sign here, that is, since you are subtracting the factors, this sign goes to the greater one. So this will go to negative 14 and the opposite sign goes to the smaller factor. So you have x square minus 14x plus 3x minus 42 equal to 0. So grouping them, you take out a common factor, that is here x. So x minus 14 plus 3 common, and you have x minus 14 again. That is x minus 14, x plus 3 equal to 0. Therefore, using the zero product rule, either this is equal to 0 or this is equal to 0. And you have x is equal to 14 or x is equal to minus 3. Therefore, the solution set is equal to 14, negative 3. If you want to check, you can substitute these values back in this equation and check if it is satisfying the equation. It will satisfy because we are just factorizing it. Let us consider another problem. Problem number 7 from the same exercise. You have x square minus 7x plus 10. Now in this factorization or in this quadratic equation, you see that you have to add the factors. When you have to add the factors, this sign goes to both the factors. So the factors for 10 such that when you add, you get 7 are 5 and 2. So since this is addition of factors, irrespective of whatever sign is here, it goes to both of them. The sign changes only when you have to subtract those factors. So substituting, I have x square minus 5x minus 2x plus 10 equal to 0. Grouping them and taking out a common factor. So x minus 5. From this I have minus 2 common, so x minus 5 equal to 0. X minus 5 and x minus 2 equal to 0. Using the zero product rule, I have x minus 5 equal to 0 or x minus 2 equal to 0, which will be x equal to 5 or x equal to 2. I have skipped one step here. Therefore, the solution set is equal to 5, 2. Let us consider another problem. Problem number 13. You have 12x square plus 29x plus 14 equal to 0. First of all, note that all the signs are positive here. It means whatever factors you are getting, you have to add, and this is the sign which will be given to both the factors. Now, since here the coefficient of x square is not 1, you will have to find the factors of 12 multiplied by 14, which is 168. So you find the factors of 168 such that when you add, you get 29. So we'll do prime factorization for this. 4, 2. So let us find the factors for 168, which when you add you get 29 are 21 and all of these. 21 and 8 are the factors of 168. Now since it is positive, the positive sign will go to both of them, since the positive sign is here. Okay. So writing it properly, you have 12x square plus 8x plus 21x plus 14 equal to 0. You could have written 21 first also, it's no harm. Now the next thing is I take a common factor from here, which is 4x, the highest common factor. So this will be x plus 2, and from the other one, this is 3x plus 2, and from the other one it is 7, which is 3x plus 2 equal to 0. So you have 4x plus 7 and 3x plus 2 equal to 0. Using the product rule, I have 4x plus 7 equal to 0 or 3x plus 2 equal to 0, which gives me 4x equal to negative 7, x is equal to negative 7 by 4. In the similar way, here x will be minus 2 divided by 3. And here, therefore, the solution set, which is necessary to be written every time, is under curly brackets minus 7 by 4 and negative 2 by 3. Another equation or problem here. So this is not in the standard form. So first we will get it in the standard form. So the first thing is you will take LCM here on the left hand side, and then you cross multiply it to the right hand side. How do we do this? First taking the LCM, so I have 5x square minus 35 divided by x is equal to 18. Next step is you cross multiply it. Don't cross multiply it before taking the LCM. So you have 5x square minus 35 is equal to minus 18x. We see that it is still not in the standard form, plus. So we get 18x on the other side. So you have 5x square minus 18x minus 35 is equal to 0. Now you have to find the factors of 35 and 5, which is 175. You can pause the video here and try to do it yourself. So therefore the factors of 175 is 25 and 7 by prime factorization. Since there is subtraction here of the factors, this sign will go to the greater factor. Substituting, following the similar way, equal to, make sure that you put equal to 0 every step. And then using the zero product rule here, I get x equal to 5, which I have skipped one step here, and x is equal to negative 7 upon 5. And hence the solution set will have 5, minus 7 by 5. Consider another quadratic problem. You are given a quadratic equation, and then there are conditions mentioned on x here. Here in the first case, x belongs to n, that is natural numbers, and in the next case x is belonging to rational numbers. It means that once you factorize this equation, whatever solution set you get, in the first solution set it has to be only the natural numbers, in the next one only rational numbers. Now before this you need to know, for natural numbers it is all the numbers from 1, 2 and so on. That They are also all positive and no fractions included. Whole numbers is denoted by W, and here you see that the whole numbers start from 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. No negatives and no fractions. Rationals are all numbers of the form p by q, where q is not equal to 0, which you have learnt in your previous class. So it's natural numbers, whole numbers, rationals, and you have integers, which is denoted either by I or Z. Integers are all those numbers which are positive, negative and 0. What integers do not include are fractions. No fractions are included in integers. And the final one are the real numbers. Real numbers include all of this, includes all of this in this. Okay. So let us first factorize this. Since the coefficient of x square is 2, you have to find the factors of 2 into 10, which is 20, such that when you add, you have to get 9, and the factors are 5 and 4. Since it is addition, this sign goes to both of them. So we write it as solution 2x square minus 5x minus 4x plus 10 equal to 0. To take out a common factor, you could have written negative 4x first, otherwise it's the same. So this would be taking an x common, because there's only x common here, I get 2x minus 5, and from the other one I have negative 2 common, so I get 2x minus 5 equal to 0. So I have x minus 2 and 2x minus 5 equal to 0. Using the zero product rule again, x is equal to 2 or x is equal to 5 by 2. Now, for solution set, first case, when x belongs to natural numbers, so the solution set will be, which among these two are natural numbers? Only 2. So 2 will be the only solution set, where 5 by 2 is not a natural number. For the next part, we have to see that in the solution set, a rational number is taken. So solution set will be 2, 5 by 2. Note that 2 is also a rational number because there is a denominator here which is 1. Since 2, 5 by 2 both belong to rational numbers. Now if suppose they had asked you, say, to find a integer, then 2 would have been the only integer here. 5 by 2 is a fraction, so it's not an integer. If by chance, say, if you had to get x equal to 5 by 2 or say x equal to 3 by 2, and the condition was on solution set to be integers. Now we see that here there are no integers, so it means in this case the solution set would have been empty. X belongs to integers, both of these are not integers, so in that case you would write solution set is an empty set. Or if you do not want to write this, then there is another symbol which is called as the null set. Video, we have learned about quadratic equation, we have learned the solutions and the root of an equation, and we have also learned to write those roots or solutions in a solution set. We have also learned to solve a quadratic equation today by the method of factorization. Now, based on the problems that we have solved in this video, try to solve problems 1 to 30, they are of the same types, from R.S. Agarwal. Thank you.